as early as I remember knowing anybody, as I grew up where I did. Her son Jake and his wife Melinda, and children Mallory and Lane. Her son Clay and Kara, and Clay and his wife Kara, and Jane and Eva. Eva was looking for a jump house, thinking there was going to be one. I think her mother had to tell her no, that there wasn't. We also have, I tried to jot down as you came in, I hope I didn't miss anybody, some former colleagues that have enjoyed working with Edie through the years. Carolyn Davis is here, Phyllis Williams, and Jane Harrison. Richie Arnold, who I'm envious that he got the opportunity to hire Edie and not me, but he's here, as well as Lisa Douglas. Any other retirees in the room? Did I miss anybody? I don't think so. Okay. Interesting story. I first met Edie Turner when she was working for Entergy, Arkansas. I don't know if you remember this or not, Richie, but he said, let's get in the car and go over. He said, I'm going to go visit with Freak Duncan about something, and I want you to, there's a person over there that I'm going to interview. I want to see what you think about her. And I said, how do you do that? He said, well, while I'm talking to Freak, you sneak around there, and her name's Edie Turner. Well, as it turns out, Edie was busy with the customer the time we were there, and I didn't really get a chance to visit with her. I visited with Jane Harrison for a minute, and then we wound up hiring both of them. I thought that was an interesting story. They were closing the local customer service office, and we were able to get both Edie and Jane. Those of you who have had the opportunity to know and to work with Edie know that she is a person she's just a model employee of extreme integrity, and she brings her best to the workplace every day. She has always worked with excellence, and she's led with excellence and by example. She's always managed to find, I think, that very neat sweet spot between being a friend and being a supervisor. And that's a hard place to find, and those of you, and she has done it so well. She has been a friend and a valued colleague to all of us. I've always appreciated her role here, and she's been in charge of some very difficult projects. The most recent that I can think of is AMI, or Automated Metering Infrastructure, left the drawing board and became a reality for this company. It's sat in the planning stages for many years. It finally got its footing and got its ground. I was concerned about that project. I was worried about the billing. Those of you who know, I have messed up billing a few times and had some severe consequences, so I was concerned about it. But Edie worked hard. She worked with our current staff. She worked with folks in other departments, including IT and operations. And she's coordinated that project as far as the billing aspect of it, to where it performs much better than even I ever hoped it would. Edie, thank you for that. But it's not just that, it's everything she's ever been tasked with. She has performed with excellence. Her career here is just unparalleled as far as I'm concerned about what she's been able to do and the excellence with which she's brought to task those things. But I want to speak to you, her family, for just a minute, and what she has. It has been my privilege, in knowing her for 30 years, to almost seem like I was a member of her family. Mike, she loves you like you would never know. Miss Turner, she has always addressed you as Miss Turner. I've never heard her say your name Carol, but I don't know. But she's always, and she cares for you as a mother-in-law like you were her mother. Boys, I have enjoyed your growing up more than you know. Edie spoke often of, I remember when Jake was in his high school baseball career, and the enthusiasm that she spoke of about playing those games, going to the state tournament. And Clay, I enjoyed hearing tales of your high school rodeo days, your roping, taking that trip to, was it New Mexico more than once for the high school rodeo finals. How proud she was. Pardon? Wyoming, New Mexico. It was a long ways off. Anyway, and she has loved her daughter-in-laws immensely and is so proud of them. And most recently, I have gotten to hear about Jane and Eva, and then prior to that, of course, I've been hearing about Mallory and Lane. And just last week, she shared with me how proud she was of your new job that she's got, and you're going to finish your high school career. And then Lane, he's going to set the dunk record at California High School. So, you know, as we enjoy each other's company here, it's more than just a workplace. We are a family, and Edie has been like a sister to me. And I often thought about, where did Edie get this work-life balance? Where did it come from? And I was reminded of a biblical account of where Jesus was asked by a lawyer, what is the greatest commandment? Jesus' answer was, love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your mind, and all your soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. Edie does that every day, more than anybody I know. So every day I know Edie has lived that creed. She has moved from a place of deep conviction. And those of you who know her best are thankful that the Bible was written in the format it was, and not like a menu at a restaurant where she would have had to make up her mind. Edie, I love you. I appreciate you, and I have enjoyed every moment of our time together. As much as your career has been great, and it has been spectacular, I wish for your future that you look at life through a very small rearview mirror and through a very wide windshield. Thanks.
Tracy, that was really good. Britt McCaig is still laughing. I wish I prepared a little more. You did a great job. Well, I would say, Edie, I've got some closing comments, but I want to present you with a company gift. And I would just like to say, you know, you gave so much quality time to the Conway Corp family over the years. I didn't have the honor of working with you every day like Tracy did, but I always enjoyed our interactions, and hopefully you'll think of us fondly when you look at that, and you'll remember the time that you gave us, and hopefully we'll get some time back to spend with your family and friends in retirement. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I hope this doesn't have an alarm on it.
I don't think it has an alarm. I don't think it has an alarm.
Did I open it now?
You can. You whatever you like.
Or if you guys-
We've got some employee gifts as well. Why don't we do them at the same time?
Okay.
Okay. So y'all want to come up? Kendra and Ginger? Or Ginger?
I'm not as good of a talker as Tracy is when it comes to public speaking, but I've only known Edie about 23 of her 30 years here at Conway Corp, but I still remember the first time that I met her. Carolyn and Phyllis had given me something to go over and take to customer service, and Edie was available, and so I gave her the paperwork, and I totally butchered her name. I won't even tell you what I called her, but it was bad. And I was so embarrassed because she just as nicely and, you know, as kindly as she could, she told me my name was Edie. And I explained to her about my dad's name and how my grandmother called my dad. And, you know, most people would have still had a bad experience with that person first off and not really cared about them anymore. But not Edie. you know, despite such an inauspicious meeting, we became friends. And we were friends and co-workers for a long time. And Edie moved to accounts manager, and then she was customer service supervisor. And I stayed in the computer room, or what's more infamously known as the lion's den. I don't know if many of y'all remember that. Grown men appeared to enter. Others treaded very lightly. Not Edie. No, she'd laugh about it being the lion's den. She'd come right in with her affable spirit and never afraid, never doing anything but just enjoying life and taking care of us and taking care of business. And a few years later, Tracy came in and he announced that she was going to be our manager. And I didn't know what to expect. Tracy had been my boss since I had been here, and we had been friends, we'd been co-workers, but she'd never been my boss. And I don't know who was more nervous, if it was me or Edie, when she was going to take over. But like Daniel in Lion's Den, she just added boss to friend and co-worker. And like Daniel, we got to become the billing department. And we weren't known as the Lion's Den anymore. Now, if I'm completely honest, I'm not, I don't think anybody knows whether it's that Edie got her name changed or if it was that Carolyn Phyllis retired. I'm not quite sure. But Edie showed us that, over the years, nothing but kindness. Billing's changed a lot. We've gone through AMI, we went through new computer systems, and the lives of people in billing have changed. And Edie took all these changes in strides. She worked with us through the bumps, through changes in our lives. And she stared at our success. She always has ever wanted the best for anyone that she has worked with in her departments. She's been my boss, but she's been a wonderful friend. She's been my mentor and a confidant. The only way I know how to sum up these years with Edie is saying, here, I feel like she is one person that cares about you, no matter you're good or you're bad. She tries to bring out the best in you to help you become the best that you can be, just to have success not only in your personal career, but also in your personal life. And I can say that I am honored to share this with you, Edie. And I will strive to be as caring and warm-hearted as you are. Sometimes it's easy to forget when you've got other things going, that you have always remembered that and always had our best interest and the best interest of our department in this company at heart. And you have a wonderful way of that work-life balance to share. And I look forward to sharing your retirement with you.
I'm gonna go with names for Edie, okay? She's been called Sweetie Edie, right, Joni?
Yes.
Okay. Edie Diane, we've heard her called. I don't know.
It's usually when someone gets mad at me.
Boss. Don't call her that though. She didn't like that one. When I called her boss one time, she wanted me to introduce her as a friend that I worked with. But she was my boss. So Edie has been my boss since I started at Conway Corp. But honestly, she's been so much more. She's right, she's been my friend. She's been my sounding board. She's a calm in the storm. She has forced me to look at other sides of issues to see how the ripples of what I wanted to do could affect things that I hadn't even thought about. We've shared ups and downs of home life and work life. She shared some great stories and videos of our grandkids, including the cooking and reading videos of Miss Jane that we have so enjoyed. Those were the best, and we've shared some laughter and we've shared some tears. And I'm sure most of you have your own stories of Edie that you could share as well that touched each one of you during her time here at Conway Corp. But she is truly matchless when it comes to a leader. She has poured into me these last 12 plus years, and although I will miss her here, I know she's going to be where she needs to be. So Edie, sweetie Edie Diane, boss, but most importantly, my friend, I'm going to miss you. Yeah, Edie's.
I think you're up.
Bear with me just a moment. Wow, it sounds like y'all are really talking about somebody really great and fabulous. I appreciate all the nice comments. 30 years, almost 30 years. Richie Arnold, thank you very much. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to come to work. You know, I worked at what was AP&L, now it's Entergy, for 14 years. And I thought then, when they decided they were gonna close this local office, that they were gonna move to Little Rock, and they asked me to go. I had 2 little boys starting in school. I didn't want to drive to Little Rock every day. And I thought, well, what in the world am I gonna do? Well, through a friend, I was told that Conway Corp was looking for, there's my sister. My sister is here, I'm sorry. Y'all didn't get to meet her. And anyway, I got off track. Just a moment. Through a friend, mutual friend, I filled out and told me about it, and I filled out the application, and got called for an interview. So nervous, but he made me feel so at ease, so comfortable, and I thought maybe this is someplace I would like to go to. Well, Richie, do you remember you called and offered me the job, and I turned you down? And I went home and I told my husband, Mike, I was, you know me, that's making your mind up. I thought, I have messed up. I have messed up entirely. And he said, well, you can call him back, but he's already filled it, I grant you. Well, I called him back, and he had not filled it. And he said the offer was still there, and so I took it. And I thought I would never find another work family like I had at AP&L. But that has proven so wrong. I can sincerely say I have appreciated very much working with each and every one of you. When I started, I was welcomed by about 7 or 8 ladies. Billy Lou Lawrence, Sharon Robertson, Roberta Jones, Dee Dee, Phyllis Williams, Carolyn Davis, and Melissa Foster. And they took me in, and they worked with me, and they trained me, and I appreciate every moment you gave me, and the attention you gave me. And I really do love each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Well, I thought it can't get any better than this. But as the years went on and I got to work with different departments, different individuals, I was proven wrong. This is a wonderful place to work. It cares for their employees, and by that it also cares for you as an individual, but your family, just as Tracy said. We talk about our families amongst one another. You learn and you find, it's like you become a part of those families. So I appreciate it. And I know I haven't done everything right. I've made mistakes, but we all do. We're human. And we've learned from it. I've ended up with in a position I would have never got the opportunity to have if it wasn't for Richie hiring me. I've actually had 3 supervisors here. I think they keep passing me around because they didn't know. They're like, you take her. I don't know what to do with her. But no, Brett was my supervisor. Tracy was my supervisor twice. And I think this last time, that's why he's a little thin-haired, gray-haired too. But no, I couldn't have asked for any one of those 3. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I love each and every one of you. We've had some good times, and we've had some times that we've struggled, but we've managed to get through. And I want to say this, I've ended up with a group of people that I could never be so more proud of. And that is my billing team, my cashier team, my serviceman, Brian Harbison, our serviceman, our cashiers, Kendra, Heather, Tori, Carol, Lindsay, and then our billing team, Emily, Brittany, and Ginger. And I love each and every one of you so much, and I have enjoyed this so much. It's so hard. I'm not going to say goodbye because I don't know when our paths may cross again, but they probably will. But I'm going to go home, and I'm going to get up, like Tracy said, and I'm going to look at that big open window, and I've got some of the best people waiting there for me. I've got my family. I've got my 2 sons, their 2 wives, and I've got 4 of the most precious grandchildren you could ever ask for. I love each and every one of you. I love you. And I've got a 94-year-old mother waiting for me that asks me every day when I'm going to retire. And I was hoping she would get to come today, but no, I just don't have the get up to go. But she had the biggest smile on her face because she said, you're finally going to get to retire. And then I've got another woman that is right there with me, my mother-in-law. And you know, you hear these things about mother-in-laws and my daughter-in-laws. I hope to goodness I can be the mother-in-law that I have had to you. But there's one person that I have to say has been my biggest supporter through it all. And that is that man sitting right there. He's the one that got me here every day when the snow and ice was on the road. I don't know, maybe he wanted to make sure I was working. But we're gonna get to enjoy some time together. We're gonna enjoy our grandkids, our family. We've got plans. And you know, yes, we have plans. And God has blessed me throughout all of this. and my plans are in God's hands. And I've got to trust in the Lord that He will see me through. And I don't know what else to say. I just love each and every one of you. And I thank everyone for coming, and I thank for all of this. I mean, you know, Tracy made it sound like I did all this. I could not have done what has happened in our billing, our cashier, those areas without the people and the support that I have had over the years. And I appreciate it so much. You will never know how much I love you all so much. And I'm just gonna end by this. And I'm gonna share something with you. My sister is here. My sister is a cancer survivor. She had cancer, she had breast cancer, and it's just found out it's in remission. So we thank God every day for that. I love you all. I don't know what else to say. And thank you all so much for the fun times, for the trying times, and the support. Just, I can't say it enough. And just remember, it's lean on each other, care about one another. And I think the little one is getting ready for some cake or something. I could talk on and on about how much I appreciate everyone, and yes.
Y'all, she don't know it, but she's fixing to go home and get on a tractor and rake hay.
I thought about saying that. You might find me having tea parties, and basketball games, and toting kids here and there, you know, taking grandmas here and there, and my sister and I were going to travel. Mike and I want to travel, but yes, he does have plans for me to help. I will say this, one time he let me on the tractor to rake hay, and he's real particular. And he said, oh, he had hay cut, and he said, okay, now get on the tractor and go over there in that field and rake the hay. And I'm like, but there's not any hay over there to rake. And he said, I know, I want to see if you can operate the rake. So I had to do that before it satisfied him. Anyway, you might see me anywhere, so I appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much.
Just making a few closing comments, and there's really very little that I can say. Tracy and Kendra and Gina did a great job of just telling a lot of truth about you, Edie, and so there's very little I can say, but I would say this, you know, to your boys. I know you know this now, but if you've got a problem with Edie Turner, it's probably your problem. She is so easy to get along with, and Mike, you know, we got reacquainted at Conway Corp meetings, and my hope is that you may have plans for Edie, but I hope that she has plans for you, and you're not at those Corp meetings anymore. You're doing stuff that she wants you to do. I hope that that's the case. But I, you know, Edie, you know, you're an example of a life well lived, and you know, you don't. I mean, there are certain people that seem to get the spotlight all the time. You're not necessarily one of those people, but I would argue that in the aggregate, people like you, if the world was full of Edie Turners, we wouldn't have the problems that we have today. So with that, I just say God bless you, and God bless your family. We're going to miss you, but hope that you come back as much and whenever you want. And I hope you enjoy this next chapter of your life. Congratulations.
Thank you.
There's refreshments, and Edie, you and your family lead the way.